Doesn't really mean much. This one?
Despite what we just went over, wouldn't you say this contradicts your account of the incident?
I'm not sure what. No.
Oh, if you'll allow me.
That wouldn't matter. Akihiro Ihara and the female victim board the train, but the actual crime is not visible, captured by camera, even when the train arrives.
Despite what we just went.
No.
Oh, if you'll.
Getting pinned down by passerby at the Shinjuku station.
Despite.
No.
Oh, if you'll.
We're gonna get this eventually. I only have 3 or 4 left. It's definitely not this one. Report of the trace elements inspection taken from Akihiro hands immediately after his arrest. This is a different photo.
Despite what we just.
No.
Oh, if you'll allow
It's
me.
not. It looks the same.
Despite what.
No.
Oh, if you'll allow me.
How does transit card matter?
This is a Hara's transit card.
Yes, and what about it?
It recorded the time Ihara passed through the ticket gate on the day of the incident. That was 7:43 a.m. on the morning of October 7th.
Okay.
However, the train you and Ihara boarded was the 9:06 departure,
Oh.
which means Ihara hung around at the platform for nearly an hour and a half after passing through the gate.
That has nothing to do with me.
How exactly does that contradict what Mamiya-san said earlier?
Oh, shoot. Yeah, that wasn't what I had in mind at all. If
Yeah,
you'll allow me
exactly.
to
Which one is it? It's this one? I don't understand why.
Well, on the same day, at 6:30 a.m. in Yokohama, a student teacher
Really
named
changed,
Hiro
I think this is
Mikoshiba
right.
was sent off to work by his mother. But he was soon abducted near his home, only to be found dead much later in Ijincho.
Oh, is it because Ihara was
Is that
in 2 places?
According to the video, Ihara-san here is the murderer.
what?
He killed Mikoshiba in cold blood to get vengeance for his bullied son. His kid was about to graduate high school, but instead, he took his own life. So Ihara took it upon himself to punish his son's tormentor.
That's awful.
But now we come back to the issue here. If this footage is authentic, then Ihara-san couldn't have been your assailant. The victim's estimated time of death and Ihara-san's time of arrival in Tokyo simply don't allow for it. It's just not possible for someone to make that commute. But there's the flip side. If Ihara-san was in fact your assailant, it would mean this murder footage is a fabrication.
I don't know what you expect me to say after all this.
Right? Now you know how we're feeling. That's why we came to see if you had any leads for us.
So that's what this is about.
After hearing your story, I have no doubt you endured a lot that day. Which would obviously mean that murder video was faked.
Then, who shared that video? And why?
Wish I knew. Based on the quality, something this convincing would need quite a budget. Whether it's CG on top of real murder footage, or just a rock-solid AI creation, no way it was cheap. So why go through all this effort to fake a murder? Who would benefit from it? But I have to say, I feel much closer to piecing this puzzle together with your help today. Thank you very much for your time.
Yes, and rest assured, this will be the last time you see us. Our apologies for the unexpected visit. And for dredging up unpleasant memories.
It's fine. So long as this is really the end of it all.
Alright, well that went well. Okay, so I understand why. That was the evidence now. It was so obvious too.
I'd like to report Mamiya-san's account to the rest of the team. Can I count on you to be there?
Sure. Let me give Kaito-san a heads up.
All right, then I'll see you there.
Because, like, obviously, yeah, the whole thing is that Ahara couldn't have committed the crime and groped her.
Yo, me.
Hey, I just got back to Comrocho. Everything good? Any news?
All good here, man. What's with you? You worried Arcade got to me or something?
I mean, they did run their mouths about stabbing us in the back. But anyway, I'm
Whoops.
heading to Genda so Sari-san and I can go over what we learned from Mamiya.
You're the boss. As for me, I'm calling it a day.
You do that.
Alright, we're gonna stop here. Like I said, I'm going to get lunch now. It's 12 o'clock. We're gonna stop here, and then we'll come back next time and finish Chapter 5 and see where the game's going. Yeah, I'm gonna go get some lunch really quick. I am gonna stream again, probably like in another, maybe like 2 hours, like around 2 EST. We'll see. Probably like 2 EST, we'll get back to more Lost Judgment. For those on YouTube, this is the end of a video, so I will see you all, or probably the end of a video, or maybe I'm splicing it in, I don't know. Something like that, but regardless, I'll see you all for more Lost Judgment. Alright, YouTube, gonna be 100% honest, I don't exactly know how I'm doing this. I don't know if this is a middle of a video or a new video, but we're playing more. Let's just get inside here and go to the Genda Law Office and see what we got going on in Chapter 5. I have to talk to Sari-san.
Are we ready, Yagami-san? Let's start with our visit to Mamiya-san, if that sounds reasonable to you.
Let's start here.
Yeah, let's start there.
Welcome back, Ariana.
So, the victim's story is completely in line with her court testimony, huh?
That's correct. There wasn't anything new to pick up.
Unfortunately.
In which case, should we look into the murder video instead? Like, figure out how they made it?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Whether that tape's fake or real, someone had to put it online, right? Do we have any theories on who that might be?
Well, the footage showed enough of the surroundings to make the crime scene clear. As somebody who's been there, I can confirm that the blood splotches match what you see in the footage. Which means...
Who uploaded Ihara's murder footage to the internet? Ihara posted the video himself. The prosecutor? No, Ihara wouldn't post the video himself. That'd be stupid. That would also be stupid. It's obviously the accomplices. Part of me wants to try these just to see how funny it would be, though. I know it's the accomplices, but, like, I think we go through all these answers because it's really, sometimes it's really funny when Yagami's wrong.
Ihara posted the video himself.
Ihara's been under police or court surveillance for the past 2 months straight.
Maybe he set it up as a delayed upload, where the video automatically got posted at a specific date and time.
Did he really think that far ahead? Although, I guess it sounds more reasonable if he had acted alone.
That's true. Let's come up with a simpler theory.
Okay, the game didn't make that seem as stupid as I thought it'd be.
That prosecutor in charge of the harassment case, Takano was it? He posted Mikoshiba's murder footage online to ruin Ihara's reputation.
Why would he need to ruin him? He was already convicted as a sex offender. Do you really have that low of an opinion of prosecutors?
I agree. That doesn't make much sense.
I don't think it makes any sense at all.
Of course it doesn't. I was just testing you guys. Good to know you're still keeping up.
Hey, this isn't the time for your shenanigans.
Yes, it is.
You get a yellow card for that one.
Yellow card. You don't play this game and get the right answers in the first try. Come on now.
Those detectives for Kanagawa. They'd spoken with Sari-san about the case already, right? Maybe they uploaded the murder video so they could get to Ihara and question him about Mikoshiba. But don't forget, up until the video went public, HQ refused to let Kanagawa PD anywhere near Ihara, so they were totally cut out of the loop. But now that everyone's seen Ihara commit murder, the time for department competition is over and done with.
If that's the case, the detectives' plans went south. Remember the position the higher-ups are taking? Because of the prosecution's stance on the video, the police can't make a move. In other words, all the detectives would have done was make it harder to question Ihara.
Not only that, don't you think it'd be way too risky for a police officer to leak that sort of video?
Yeah, I doubt the detectives did it. But at least we've eliminated one potential misstep. We're that much closer to the right answer.
I get that you're trying to reassure me, but it's actually just making it worse.
Is it? Then the plan's going great.
Forgot I wasn't live on YouTube. Oh well. If people are watching the VOD on YouTube, they're gonna miss like the opening parts of this section. It's whatever. What are you gonna do? With nowhere to turn, it had to have been his accomplices.
The murderer's accomplices have to be the ones who posted it for him.
Yeah, I can't see it any other way.
I also agree with Yagami-san.
But in that case, what would their motive be?
Maybe they wanted to make a mockery of the police, or even the whole system.
Huh?
We know Ihara got himself convicted for groping, so he'd have an alibi for Mikoshiba's killing. But then, his conspirators turned it around by uploading the murder video online. Almost as if to say, look how he got away with it.
I see. Yeah, that does make it sound like he's taunting them.
That's well and good, but I'd like to shift gears. Let's talk about the actual fabrication of the video. How does one go about that?
Well, for example, the true culprit would be taped murdering Mikoshiba. Then Ihara's face would be copied and blended onto the killers.
Photoshop.
That's how they'd approach it in a Hollywood movie.
But then, wouldn't you be able to see traces of it being faked?
Tsukumo-san reported that he's found nothing of the sort in his analysis.
We've been down this road before. If we take the stance that the footage is fabricated, we have absolutely nothing to work with.
Then let's tackle this from the stance that the video's actually real. If that's the case, there has to be a flaw in the groping issue. I think we've collected enough evidence to find it too.
Before meeting with Yui Mamiya, didn't you mention the possibility of Ihara using a stand-in? Perhaps the real Ihara murdered Mikoshiba in Ijincho, then swapped places with the imposter so he could be detained.
But we couldn't find an opportunity for the swap to happen, remember? From the moment he set foot on the Ikebukuro platform, Ihara was constantly on camera.
But wait, that's not entirely accurate, is it?
Huh?
Oh. Ihara wasn't really on camera the entire time he was at the scene. Evidence shows that. Evidence does show that.
Remember how we mocked up a diagram of the Shinjuku Station platform?
Yeah. Oh, wait! That's it! You could be onto something. There's a point where Ihara wasn't on camera at all.
What is this point you speak of?
Let's all go over the diagram so that everything will be clear. Here's what I want you to see.
What the? Suspicious.
Arrow indicates the path that Ihara and the victim took on the platform. It ends where Ihara was captured.
Suspicious.
Vicious. This is where Ihara got tackled by witnesses. Multiple others on the scene documented this with their phone cameras.
What the?
Yes, this is a spot I'm looking for. Nope.
It's very brief, but there's a moment where Ihara and Mamiya-san can't be seen by the security cameras. The dotted lines on the arrow represent the camera's blind spot.
It does appear so. So you're saying this is where the groper, the fake Ihara, traded places with the real one?
Can't say it's impossible, right?
Right. Except if that actually happened, Mamiya-san would have been right behind them at the time. Could the two really swap places without her noticing?
In a crowd like that, I think it's feasible.
If that really was Ihara's plan, then I'd say he was being careless.
Careless? How?
Well, on the day of the incident, the station was packed for morning rush hour. That means there was no solid guarantee the assailant could make the switch. He could have been nailed by any random passerby before reaching the blind spot.
Good point. Not only that, if Mamiya-san had called for help while the train was still moving, then the first Ihara would have been caught before even reaching the platform.
Oh, I mean, yeah! Called it.
Think about it, Yagami-san. Why would Ihara's accomplices meticulously plan out every last detail of this alibi, only to leave such a crucial component to chance, as Hoshino-kun pointed out?
Oh, just doing my job.
True. Good work, Hoshino-kun. In fact, I think that may back up my own take on it.
Yeah?
What if everything, including the appearance of leaving the plan to chance, was part of the plan?
Can you expound on that?
I'm saying I agree that such an airtight alibi wouldn't have allowed for contingencies. And that takes the question to another level. Just how far did they line up the pieces in advance to make the swap work?
Are you saying there's more to it than we discussed? What did we miss?
Everything on the day of the murder, including the train groping, was planned from start to finish. What else can we possibly deduce? Real murder took place in Kamurocho. I mean, it's gotta be prosecution faked the footage. I mean, again, we're not circling back to that. Mikashiba is as good as dead. I'd be surprised if he wasn't. It's gotta be... Mamiya might have been colluding with Ihara. Maybe. I mean, that's the only option here that makes sense.
I know this won't go over well, but what if Mamiya was colluding with Ihara all along?
Huh?
Bear with me. Let's say Mamiya was in on this, and knew about the imposter in advance. If that's the case, the swap could happen right in front of her, and no one but the three of them would know.
You're saying the victim of a groping conspired with her assailant beforehand? That's ridiculous.
It's not a suggestion I'm fond of, but I have to consider the possibility of Mamiya playing a part in the conspiracy. Also, sorry, the other options did not make any sense.
Let me just say, I'm only trying to work out how a swap like that would be guaranteed to work. Now, if Ihara and his stand-in both know that Mamiya will pretend not to have seen them, they can trade places in the blind spot with impunity. Conversely, if Mamiya wasn't in on the plan, the idea of a swap would never work. We can say with certainty that she would have seen the swap, so... She could have even called attention to the real Ihara the moment he stepped in. That way, the people around her would be focused on chasing the correct assailant. The rest is as we know it. They caught Ihara and detained him until the police showed up.
Hold that thought. If your theory is accurate, what about Ihara's trace evidence? Remember that fibers of the victim's underwear were detected on his hand.
Well, that can also be explained by Mamiya being in on the plan. For example, while the stand-in was showing himself at the security cameras, Mamiya could have easily provided Ihara access to a pair of underwear at the same time. Maybe the stand-in loitered around for so long because he was letting everyone else get themselves in place.
It's not impossible.
We can work out the other details later. But the point is, Ihara's murder alibi is shot if Mamiya was involved. In summary, it's possible Ihara disgraced himself to secure an unshakable alibi for Mikoshiba's murder.
I'll concede that it's an avenue worth pursuing.
And when it comes to the prosecution, they can't just admit they got the first case so wrong. Plus, they can't question Ihara about Mikoshiba's murder. In fact, their only option is to claim the tape was faked.
So he managed to make a farce out of the system after all.
Well, his court case for his son's bullying did get more or less thrown out, didn't it? The school, the investigative committee, and the court all agreed there wasn't enough evidence to convict anyone. No surprise for me that the guy held a grudge against the system for so long.
Hold on. Before we all decide on this,
What's up?
the obvious question to me is why would Mamiya be party to such a crime? She appears more than financially stable, and she's even raising a child. So why would she do something so enormously risky as helping establish a murder alibi?
Yeah, I haven't gotten that far yet. But maybe she was promised something that far exceeds the risk. Or maybe Ahara has some kind of dirt on her, even?
Enough to make her help with a murder? What sort of secret would be big enough to force someone into that corner?
What info do we have on Mamiya anyway? Maybe we can spot a connection to Ahara through her profile.
I'll pull her information. Just a second.
Oh, I just thought of something else those two would have guaranteed by working together.
What's that?
If Ahara wanted to use this crime as a murder alibi, he needed it to blow up into the public eye. But if he had chosen a victim who stayed silent, then nothing would have come of it. A solid plan would need to eliminate that variable, which means Mamiya being an accomplice was crucial to Ahara's success.
That's true.
Looks like Ahara pulled one over on the prosecution then. Had his accomplices right where he wanted them, even his victim. Once we learn how he's connected to Mamiya, we can root out the rest of his team.
Let's see. According to her file, her maiden name is Yui Suzuki. 30 years old, so that's consistent. Originally from Ota, Tokyo. Attended a private high school called Kurakawa Academy. Later graduated from Toto University.
Huh.
Met her husband on the job, apparently. Her husband, Taichi Mamiya, is an industrial designer at Techno Zeta Inc. 6 years ago, she gave birth to their only son, Sotakun, who's now in first grade.
Hold on. You said she went to Kurakawa Academy? I heard that name in Ijincho. If I recall correctly,